Robin Williams is remembered as one of the most talented and funny actors in cinema. We in CurioSips and all the fans love Robin for his funny roles like the movies Mrs. Doubtfire or Flubber, as well as projects more serious and inspiring as Good Will Hunting or The Dead Poets Society. However, his tragic death on August 11 of 2014 uncovered the last depressive episode of his life of the actor, because behind the laughter, Williams had been a protagonist of personal hell that finally caused him to take his own life. And today in CurioSips, we will tell you the sad and controversial life of Robin Williams. The childhood of Robin Williams gives us an insight about the world that the actor was hiding and what ultimately ended up destroying him. Robert McLaurin Williams was born on July 21st of 1951. He was the only child of the marriage between Robert Fitzgerald Williams and Lori McLaurin. Although he had two older step-siblings from the previous relationship of each of his parents, each of the children of the family were educated separately, and Robin didn't meet these members until the age of 9. Later, they kept contact, but during their childhood, they were total strangers. Therefore, Robin was raised as an only child throughout his childhood and adolescence, and since childhood, he suffered the absence of his parents most of the time. His father was a senior executive of the Ford Motor Company, and his mother was a model, which is why they were almost never at home. The only figure that raised Williams was the help. In this way, Robin spent a lot of time in solitude, letting his imagination flow. As the actor recalls, as a child he was a short, chubby, and lonely little kid, a boy who tried not to make a lot of noise so not to disturb his parents if they were present. The saddest thing is that the talent he had to make others laugh, which he is widely known for, at first was just a tool to gain the attention of his mother, because little Robin craved the attention of his parents. In this way, Williams grew up as a reserved child at school who got excellent grades. That is how in 1973, he got a scholarship to enter a prestigious interpretive school in New York, where he would impress everyone with his powerful energy and interpretive capacity. In the 70s, Robin made a name for himself as a comedian in nightclubs, but he also started to abuse various narcotic substances due to the stress of acting before the public, something that almost made him paranoid on several occasions. However, by the end of the decade, Robin was one of the most successful comedians of America and a budding actor following the success of the sitcom Mork and Mindy, beginning in 1978, in his first leading role on the big screen with Popeye in 1980. After appearing in several films in which he acclaimed his performance, in 1987, he received his first Oscar nomination for the film Good Morning Vietnam. And well, the rest is only part of his extensive and funny and deep film career of this epic actor who received an Oscar in 1997 for the film Good Will Hunting, among other awards. Not to mention the comic shows that turned him into one of Hollywood's most respected comedians and actors. However, behind the cameras, a horrifying reality was happening. Pam Dawber, his co-star in the series Mork and Mindy, commented on the abuses that the actor carried out during the years of filming. Dawber acknowledged that Robin used to show up in front of her during the rehearsals in addition to touching her in various parts without her consent. He even showed up naked on the set. This, which was just a joke for Robin, did not worry Dawber much. She just thought it was a part of the crazy personality of Williams. Another woman who went on with the actor's peculiar way of being was his first wife, Valerie Velarde, who Robin was married to from 1978 to 1988. She thought that the various infidelities that the actor committed were just part of the stardom. However, after a 2-year affair with a waitress in the mid-80s, her former mistress, Michelle Tish Carter, publicly filed a lawsuit against him and asked for $6.2 million, claiming that he knowingly infected her with herpes. Although he later proved that that was not true. This was what ended his first marriage. He got a divorce the same year as the lawsuit in 1988 when his son Zach was only 5 years old. A few years later, in 1989, Williams married the babysitter of his child and later the personal assistant, Marcia Garces, a woman who gave him emotional stability and 2 children. This was the person he got married to for 21 years. And Robin Williams had been detoxified for a few years after the death of his great friend, John Belushi, in 1983, which was caused by an overdose. At the time, Williams was also scared of being overshadowed by the fame of Jim Carrey, another great Hollywood comedian that Robin thought could steal his fame and fortune. However, in the 90s, Robin was signing contracts of at least $15 million per project. Although he remained sober for 2 decades, in 2006, he relapsed into the intake of alcohol and narcotics and was forced to spend time in a rehabilitation clinic. His personal instability finally ended his marriage in 2010, and in 2011, he remarried with the graphic designer Susan Schneider, who accompanied him until his death. His last wife, Schneider, was the one who began to worry about Robin's health because the actor began to suffer from strange symptoms in the late 2000s, which at first he tried to hide, like so many other things in his life. Schneider claimed that by 2013, Robin experienced a long series of medical problems, including memory loss, that terrified him because he thought he could never make anyone laugh again. Other problems were hallucinations, problems with urinating and sleeping, and a depression that he was treated for. In June of 2014, he was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, but after his suicide in August of the same year, it was found that he had a type of degenerative dementia known as dementia with Lewy bodies. Months before, Robin had attended a rehabilitation clinic, but not because of his problems with drugs, but because he did not know how to find help to overcome this strange medical problem. A tragic ending for an exceptional actor that we will remember with a smile. Do you think Robin Williams was yet another Harvey Weinstein? We are looking forward to reading your comments, and become part of our CurioSips family by subscribing to our channel. So until next time, guys.